Hi, I'm Robin,
And I'm Kristen.
and we are here to cover.
The most beautiful moment in life, part two.
I was going to say that,
Oh,
but
you,
that's okay.
you
That's
hesitated. I
I
didn't
know, I
know.
know, I know, I did. I'm sorry. Yes, the most beautiful moments in life, part two.
All right. Well, getting right into it, I guess I'll start with Nevermind because, it's sugar. Um, it's sugar. So
No need to stop.
we, oh, okay. So let's first talk about how we kind of had to come back to really doing a deep dive into these lyrics.
Yes,
I mean, we're getting now into albums that are dealing with themes of depression and youth and the loss of innocence, and there's just so much going on in
growth.
these, and growth, and there's just
Yeah,
so much going on in these songs. I think that we had to take a step back after our initial review of it and just kind of really take in what we were hearing
as we were listening. Yeah,
and what they were saying to
yeah,
us.
yeah.
So we did and we do have to. I will have to go back and listen to part one with that lens, because I feel like I
Absolutely.
kind
Yeah.
of dismissed a lot of the messaging there, and it was loaded. Like after we did some deep
Oh
dives and we
God.
saw,
Yeah,
we were watching the music video and we
yeah.
were watching the storyline explanation,
Right. Oh my goodness.
and we
Yes.
missed so much of that when
Yeah.
we were doing
Yes.
the episode. We are talking about the album, so yeah, we didn't want
Wow.
to repeat
Yeah.
that.
No.
We didn't
No.
want
No.
to come
No.
back and do that again.
Right.
So we did our homework, and like we did our homework. We
And
have
she's got,
so many notes,
yeah,
and
she's got a lot going on over there.
we did so much research. We did so much, but
Not so much on mine, but she's got.
well, we talked about it. We
No, we did.
discussed
We
it.
did.
We
And
did,
and
yeah.
you know what? We did it apart,
And then we came
and
together.
then we came together, and we had a little discussion beforehand, but we seen um some high and low points in both of our dives.
Yeah, some
That,
things that she missed that I
yeah.
caught, and some things I missed that she caught.
Right, right. So it was really interesting how we kind of fed off of when we didn't even feed off of it. That's the
It was
wrong
just
phrase. It
comparison.
was just comparison, but it was the looking at it and picking up the different
I
nuggets.
I think we also learned about our different study styles.
Definitely. Oh
We
yeah,
learned so much about
without a
how
doubt.
how we study and
Yeah,
how the other person studies. So
yeah,
this
yeah.
this was interesting. It was definitely our own
That was,
self discovery
yes, it was.
that
It
we had.
was. We did a deep dive into us.
Yeah, it really exposed a lot of things for
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
But yeah, okay, I'm sorry. We're getting into it.
Mm.
Okay, so never mind. Intro, never mind. My initial thought, and I think I said this to you, I was like, oops, song for the haters, but that's Suga's good for that. That's his
Yeah.
strength. I mean, I'm not gonna say that he's only good for dissing people. He's not.
No,
He's
no,
not, but he's just so good at it. And
because he doesn't play with him.
yeah, like he doesn't play. Like when it
No, he
comes
doesn't.
to defending himself and defending his guys, like he's going to give you everything
Yeah,
he's got, like
yeah.
just completely unloading all rounds.
But I also want to say before you get, and that's true because I should have said this earlier. This is the fourth album. It's a mini album,
Oh
and it was
yes.
released on the 30th of November, 2015. So I just
Hmm.
wanted to get that out. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, he don't play
Which,
with him.
well, that is really important to mention because you do see at this point what they're 2.5 years in
Hmm. Yeah,
since their debut,
yeah.
and they're still young, but they're transitioning. I mean, they're coming into adulthood. The older members are, going into their 20s, and they're coming into a new light, like a new version of their life.
I wonder if this was something we would have seen walk, walking the walk in that timeline.
I'm so jealous of people who have been there from the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. There are times where I'm going through these songs and I'm like watching clips from their like older performances and stuff, and I'm like, I wish I was there. I
Mm,
wish I was a
mm.
part of it. I wish I had been there. But Suga said BTS debuts for you when you
Yes.
or whenever you find
With
BTS,
the,
that's when they debut for you.
yeah,
So
yeah. When we find it.
coming into it now, I feel like we're not necessarily missing anything because we do have access to the content. We have
Yeah.
access to it's just the feeling of being able to see it fresh, like right when it happened, and being in those conversations with other army in real time.
Yes.
I think it would have been a different experience. But for now, it's amazing how, because I felt like I was so late to the game.
Right.
When we
Right.
got
Yeah.
into it, I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah. We did.
this they've been in
Ugh.
this for 10 plus years. Like we've missed so much, but there were so many army who just got into them within the last 18 months while they've been
Right.
enlisted.
Right. Right. Right.
So we're all experiencing this together. There are so many army that have not seen them all together,
That's true.
and so now we're all going to get that experience together for the first
Yeah.
time.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm not prepared.
Yeah.
I'm nervous and scared and excited, and I'm ready but not ready.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we had been in that space
Mm-hmm.
with them at the time, this learning curve that they're going through with their life, their music, their how they handled fame and their fans, and still trying to figure out how to handle themselves.
Right. Yeah.
Like I think it would have been a really interesting experience. I think that a lot of people who have been there with them from the beginning, their bond is so strong because they walk that walk with them.
Right. Right. Right.
And I feel like because of BTS being the way they are and including Army in everything they do, those moments
Absolutely.
where they went live or those posts where it's happening in real time and you're saying like, oh, you're getting the notification, you're seeing it.
Right. Right.
I feel like, yeah, the connection is a lot stronger for those people who've been there from the very beginning. And I think every step you take as you go forward, you feel that connection strengthening. So the people who came in, the international army that came in during their Butter and Dynamite and Permission to
Mm-hmm.
Dance era, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like those people, they got in, but then every step that was taken since that moment, it's just only strengthened their
Right.
connection
Right.
to them.
So and I was thinking we were on the same wave because I was thinking prior to you saying that is that how it has built Army, strengthened them, like from previous, I don't want to say generations, but previous, Army that was there from the beginning.
Mhm.
And then those coming in, and then like me first seeing them in 2017, and just different times of coming in, the strength of Army, because when you think about what Army has done to like up to the point of maybe 5 years in, that those things that they've done, like the Purple Line, and
Yeah, some of the things that they've done.
that was a strong building of their relationship. Yes.
I agree. I think that and let's not segue too much because this is not a conversation about Army, but you can't talk about
we are.
but you can't talk about BTS without talking about the love of Army. I
Yeah.
feel like they're one and the same. You say BTS, Army is within the next breath. Like
Right,
it's
right.
immediate. And it's not just with us, they feel the same way too. They're very
Right.
much in love with their fans.
Mhm.
They're in love with their fan base. They know that Army's got their back, and they know that Army is with them every step of the way. The trust is so strong that they felt they could leave us for 2 years.
Yeah.
And they I don't think they were 100% certain we'd be here, but I felt like they kind of they trusted that even if the Army did stray, they would not stray too far and they would come right back.
They knew the character of Army.
Yeah, so I think that the dynamic between BTS and Army and the way they speak to us through their social media posts, through their lives, through their music, and through their concerts, and giving us those experiences, those are all just ways that they're just, telling us they love us, they miss us, they know we're here, they're thankful for us, and thinking about we're always on their mind.
Yeah.
And that's why they're always on ours. So okay, we segued quite a bit, but Army's important. Army's important. So we have to, yeah. And they just keep growing. They just keep growing. I think that that's amazing to have a fan base multiply exponentially while they were inactive, while the band was inactive. You know, they're not doing anything, they're not touring, they had their solo stuff, but they weren't
Right,
putting
right,
out
right.
new music as a group.
As a group.
And we're still like, you still had people like, oh yeah, I just got here. And you know, like we came into this during enlistment or during the solo era, but you know, OT7 and yeah, OT7. Um, I just think that that says so much about the relationship and what they have shown us and how authentic they've been
Yeah.
with Army, that people coming in with fresh eyes can say, "Oh, this is a group I could get behind."
Mhm.
You know, like that's insane. It's amazing. I love it. I love it.
Well,
Again, I'm going to talk about this intro.
Yes, go on, go
Like
on.
for the third time, I think I would say, yeah.
We're
Okay.
talking about that.
So, going through the verses, or going through the verse because it's a verse bridge. Going through the verse, there was a lot to unpack because you know it's Suga, and he likes his words. He
Yeah.
gives us his imagery.
Mhm.
But basically, what I got was that you know he's being told like, hey, you probably aren't gonna make it. You shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. You're gonna end up, you know, failing or like what was the word? I just lost it. um how oh like going into debt, the family break, like
Yes.
yeah, having the house go, the
Okay,
family go broke,
yes,
something like that.
yes.
Yeah. So there were so many things, and then he was just like, "That's cool that you're worried and all that stuff, but like,
Yeah.
don't mind me. I got it. Like, I'll figure it out." And then yeah, it just gets more into okay, you remember how you were talking about how I can't do this and how I won't succeed and all that stuff, and it's like, well, look at me now. Like, how do you think I'm doing? Like, do you think we're broke?
I was just looking at that line. Does it
Like,
seem like my home is going?
yeah,
broke?
like, does it look like we're hurting? I think we're good.
Yeah.
So you know, again, don't mind me. Like, never mind me. Do you and focus on you. And maybe if you put as much energy into minding my business or minding your own business as you mind my business, you'd be doing better. Which I love that whole where is it, the moss surely grows on a stone that doesn't roll. Like,
Yeah.
don't worry about
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Roll yourself.
Roll your stone.
Yeah. See where you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, I love that about him. I love that imagery. And then I love that he has at the end RM and J Hope come in with the chorus.
Yeah.
But yes, there were a lot of little things that I wrote down, but the thing that I really kind of wanted to that spoke to me I wrote at the top because it was important to me at the time. Don't focus on what you can't change. Take charge of the things you can.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
and that's what he did.
that was my analysis.
Yeah. I looked at this as just an understanding and the start of becoming young adults and all that is involved in that, and even just not just this, but throughout throughout the album, you know, the with love and commitment and growth and identity. I mean, they began to know who they were as a whole, what they were going through individually, and they made their mark on this one, I say.
Well, I think with the series, I think we're in. Well, it debuted in 2015, or not debuted, came out. It was released in 2015. So we're at 10 years into the most beautiful moment in life series. Because the first one, yes. So 10 years, I've seen a lot of. I think we just came across the anniversary of the first album, so part 1. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think this is the 10-year anniversary for this series, and a lot of people have been either coming back to it or really taking it in a different light now that it's 10 years old. And I feel like a lot of the things that they're talking about, even though it is about youth and that transition into adulthood, I feel like a lot of the message could be applied to people that aren't necessarily in that age range, but maybe going through some transitions of their own.
Oh yeah.
and they're needing that person to say like, I understand you. I've been where you've been.
Yeah.
We're gonna get through this.
Yeah.
And we will.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
We
the
will.
growth. Yeah. That is it.
Okay, let's go to Run. Okay. Does she run? All right. I do like this song. I put this song is about love, but also life, youth, happier and simpler times and memories.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So starting off with RM. Should I go through this like bit by bit, or I can't? I don't know. I didn't organize my thoughts very well. I just wrote a lot of scribbles.
No. You have to understand that what may look like, well, not you, what may rightly look like scribbles is organized thought for you. And, that's organized.
It's just a lot of it.
It's a lot of organization. But it is. You know where it's coming from.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all that really matters. I'm not trying to read that.
Okay. At least my handwriting's kind of legible.
Yes.
So if you wanted to, you could. Okay, so going through the first verse, RM. What I took from that was, at first listen, I'm like, okay, it could be about a toxic relationship, but it could be about growing up or being in denial about growing up and longing for youth.
Yeah. It's fleeing time and the struggle and reconciling with the past and with and looking toward the future and the beauty of untroubled, carefree youth. That's that was nice back in. When you think about that, we all
didn't have to
that.
worry about things, like everything was taken care of for you. You just had to be and enjoy.
But we think about that out loud and to ourselves. How many times have you heard? I don't want to be adulting anymore.
Yeah,
it's like I don't want to go.
I've said it so many times. I don't want to.
Like I'm tired of adulting. I'm tired of not working out the way I planned or whatever. But that's that's the carefree and the untroubled part of life and that transition into adulthood that speaks to.
And the longing for it makes sense, because when you do get into that time where you're starting to realize that you have to have take responsibility for things, and you're being held accountable for things, and you can't even use the excuse of like, oh, they're just a kid. Like, now you have no excuse. You should know better. And it's heavy. I feel like that transition between childhood and adulthood just kind of weighs you down, and this lightness that you had when you were a kid, it just seems so difficult. Well, that too, but it seems so difficult to maintain, because now you've got all of these things that are kind of being placed on your shoulders. And to have this, which is why I love Jin, because Jin is very much like, nope, I'm still a child. He's like, I don't want to be responsible. I love watching Jin. That you have a Toys R Us kid. But the thing I love about Jin, and you'll see it later in like the later Run BTS episodes, but more so in his Run Jin episodes, homie cheats. And he does not discriminate who he cheats against. Like, but it's so funny because all he cares about, it's not that he only cares about winning, but he gets so much excitement out of winning or getting ahead or being in first. And that's a very childlike mentality, to just be like, I don't care how I get it, I'm just gonna get it. But I love that he still, like, he refuses to be anything other than who he is. And yes, we all know that Jin he's a grown man, and he's responsible, and he's got great work ethic, but having to be an adult at such a young age and be the adult to these 6 other guys. I know that Arm's the leader, but Jin is the oldest. So he does have a little bit of a responsibility there. He handled it a lot differently than I think some other K-pop groups do, where he wasn't so much like the authoritarian.
Mm-hmm.
He was that old, like that casual older brother relationship, and I think that they responded to him in such a way that now that bond is so strong that there's nothing that's going to break that up. That I think the guys love him as their older brother, and they never looked at him as somebody who was going to be strict with them or, you know, correct them in a harsh way. I think he corrected with love, and he's very much like, yes, I'm older, but I'm also your, like, we're also buddies.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I do love that characteristic of Jin, and I feel like he does kind of hold on to youth as much as he can, because I think he realizes, you know, if I give it up, it's gone.
There's no
Like
getting it back.
he's like, I can't even
There's no getting it
sneak
back.
back into it. Like I have to hold on to it with both hands. But if he lets go, you know, like that's, he's being fully flung into adulthood and everything that comes with it. I like that he still maintains that childlike part of him.
Well, I think we all have a little bit of a
Yeah.
child in us, but for
Yeah, but he puts it on TV.
So well, yes, and you know that works for them.
Okay, so yes, the first verse, Aaron's verse, is about, you know, that toxic relationship with growing up and or being in denial about growing up and longing for youth. But then Sugar comes in, and it's basically to sum up, either way, it's stupid to chase it, but you still want to, and he understands why. We all understand why. And yes, I guess there is a kind of foolishness to holding on to something that you know is supposed to be gone, but again,
Not always easy to let go.
yeah. So going into the pre-chorus with V, uh the last line, at least I can smile when I see you. Again, like if this is about a person, that makes sense, but also when I looked at it about as being about life and youth, the the thing he's looking on is our memories
Mm-hmm.
of the good times, of the
Yeah.
happier and the lighter times, the simpler times.
Right.
And those are the memories. And so, yes, when you see them, you smile, even though you're going through these hardships and these things, these growing pains, to look back on your memories and remember that those moments existed for you.
Yes.
So that's what I got there.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to be talking this entire time. Am I going to be talking this entire time?
You said something to me about, hey, I got this, but I don't know. I don't know.
She called me out. Okay, well then if we're gonna go there, all right. So then going into the chorus, yeah, all I can do. Okay, so run, run, I can't stop it. Run, run again, I can't help it. This is all I can do anyway. Loving you is all I can do. Run, run again. It's okay to fall. Run, run, run again. It's okay to get hurt. I'm all right even if I can't have you. Foolish fate, go ahead and curse me. Now, okay, so this chorus, I like it because it's telling you like, hey, I'm running back towards my youth. I can't help it. I don't want to stop. I don't know anything else to do because the future looks dark and I don't like that uncertainty. But I understand that in this process, I'm going to fall, I'm going to get hurt, and it's okay. And then I think the last two lines, I'm all right even if I can't have you. Foolish fate, go ahead and curse me. It's an accepting that youth and innocence are now gone.
Yeah.
And only the harsh and cruel world is ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know where my mind was when I wrote that, but but it's true. They're at this point now where they're like, I can't be in denial anymore. I have to accept that I'm growing up and that these things are changing for me. And this life that I lived, these memories that I have, they are just memories now. Yeah. They're now a thing of the past, and I have to let it go. Yeah. Going into J-Hope's verse. Is this sweat or tears? I can't really tell. And I can't tell the difference between the consequences of growing up and the mourning of youth lost. And that's the consequences are the sweat, because obviously now there's work.
Yeah.
Growing up requires work. But the mourning of youth lost are the tears. So is he sweating from having to be an adult and take on these things, or is he crying because he's got to be an adult?
He's taking on these things.
He's got to take on these things. So I get it. And then my love stripped bare, the stormy winds, they make me run again, and my heart beats again. And at the most vulnerable point in life, with no comfort, it drives them to run towards what makes them feel safe and happy. I feel like I'm in school and I'm presenting to the teacher. And this is my analysis of
this
HYYH part 2. So please grade kindly.
No.
I want an A.
So just tell me your grade, right?
Okay. Well, I'm being hopeful. Okay, so then we go through the pre-chorus and the chorus again. And then we get to the bridge. Our memories crumble like dried flower petals at the tip of my fingers under my feet. Behind your back as you run ahead, I'm chasing butterflies, so lost in dreams. I follow your traces, show me the way, please stop me, let me breathe. Oof. And then I put surrounded by memories, surrounded by reminders that youth is fleeting and it's time to face reality, but it's happening too quickly. And hanging on to the memory to follow back to the sanctuary of youth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did that seem spot on?
Yeah, because it's all in the first part too. I mean, it's that knowing it's coming, knowing it's there, knowing you have to go, but then really wanting to stay and hang on to those memories. And those memories don't go away. They may fade, but they still make you smile.
Mm-hmm. And you get to a point where certain things will trigger those memories, and like a smell or a sound or something, and you'll remember like this feels familiar.
Yes.
And your body just kind of knows to remind you of how it made you feel.
Right.
And so even though you may not remember all the details of that memory, the feeling that memory gave you, it comes alive again when that memory is triggered.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. That's enough about Run.
This goes your A.
Thank you.